another episode of the Talking Table podcast, where any topic is on the table. Today, we're going to be talking about socialization with Santing and Amy. Let's get to it. So first, what is socialization? Socialization is basically when someone learns their cultural norms in their society, and through that, they attain cultural continuity. And so socialization can build your personality as you interact with different people, and because you learn your social skills. Because you learn your social skills, and that's how you develop yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
there's different ways, like there's different forms of socialization. So, for example, group socialization is where your peer groups your peer groups influence your personality rather than your parental groups.
Mm-hmm.
So you're peer pressured?
Well,
is that it?
Well, you can be. You definitely can be. It's basically like because you learn the way your friends talk and their behaviors, and that definitely influences like how you behave, right? If you want to be like, you might want to be more like them, or like you might follow them, right?
Yep.
So they definitely influence how you are.
Of course.
But what if you see what they do and you learn to not do what they do? Is that still socialization?
Yeah.
Or is that a result of you already being socialized into a set of values and you recognizing that what they're doing does not align with your set of values? Is that if you reject someone's actions, is that an indication that you've already been socialized?
Socialization is a phenomenon, and it's not like.
Yeah, I think it's just like them influencing you.
Like, there's no such state as socialized, my friend.
Oh.
like when you learn, like for example, when you learn that like what your friend's doing is like doesn't align with your values, right? That also shapes your that also like shapes your character in the sense that you're not going to be like them, right? So in a way, you're still learning from them.
I guess it's just like what do you call it? Like making your belief that like whatever their actions is bad, like it's just like making that belief even more concrete.
Yeah, so you're reinforcing a belief that's already there. Basically. So to socialize, or like socialization, is that the creation of new belief? Is that what you mean by is that what socialization is?
You see, the thing is your belief, your pre-existing beliefs come from pre-existing socialization. For example,
yes, exactly.
This is where we get to other forms of socialization, where there's gender socialization, where you learn your gender roles, right? Your culturally defined gender roles. Maybe that's from your parents, how they raised you, or from your preschool maybe, or wherever. Or cultural socialization, where you learn your heritage, like various cultural practices from your parents. So socialization can it can strengthen your existing beliefs, but it can also build new beliefs.
I guess I feel like the cultural socialization, that's like, is that what you say? That's like the base foundation. Like that's the foundation of socialization, I guess, if that makes sense. Because like we're all like born into our families, like our cultures first. Like we all, I guess, meet our cultures before our friends. So we build our personalities off of that, and then our friends only reinforce everything, right? Does that make sense? I guess I'm just trying to relate back to what something just said.
Well, of course, because like your culture is like a huge part of your identity, right? And that's like the first part that's built up is you know like who you are, and like your relative place, at least like a very general idea of your place in this world, like your culture, right? Like guys, how do you think your peer groups like shaped your personality, your character?
Peer groups? Like friends?
Yeah, like friends or like people around your age, I guess, as
I
opposed to
feel
like
like
adults.
I feel like my friends shape me in a more specific way, like because like parents they usually like teach you like the general things like your morals, values, culture, stuff like that. But friends they influence me in like the things I find funny, like the way I talk. It's like really specific and not as like general as how my parents influence me. If that makes sense. Like I
I
can't
don't
really think of anything specific. Sorry.
I don't interact with other people.
What's there? Okay. Well,
Well, I think
mhm.
Was a joke, by the way.
Hopefully. Oh, just like a random side note, I feel like my friends
Mhm.
influence me in the way I speak a lot. Like usually like phrases I say, things I repeat a
Oh
lot.
yeah, I
They're
was gonna
definitely
say
from my
that.
friends. Yeah, I think that's like the
Hmm.
main thing that comes to mind right now.
That
Like my
I was
friends
gonna say
definitely
like
uh-huh.
I was gonna say part of like my sense of humor. Maybe it
Interesting.
changes like it depends on what group of people I'm in. Maybe slightly.
Transformers. Oh my. My humor, I think, is broken. Like it's
What?
actually broken. What I find funny, and the people around me, they don't find funny at all.
Oh really? But do you know what's universal? Right? Like
Benign violations.
benign violations. Right. So like every person has a different sense of humor or like they find different things funny, but the reason they find something funny is because of this thing called a benign violation.
Mhm.
And so you can to understand benign violation you can take the words apart. Benign meaning that it does not does not cause direct harm, right? And violation, so basically it's a violation
What is a violation? It is a
of
violation.
right. So yeah, but what is this violation, right? This violation is a violation of what our sense of how things are supposed to go. So each person has a general idea of appropriate behavior or general beliefs, or like the the things you learn from cultural socialization, maybe,
Mhm.
or yeah, the things you learn from like your social like previous interactions, like social interactions. That so you develop this like general idea of how things are supposed to go, and when something doesn't align with that, it's considered a violation. So when
Oh,
something is
really?
both so when something is both benign and a violation, then that's what makes it funny.
That's interesting. So like
Like
what we find funny is like based off of the people we
based off
socialize with? Really?
I don't think that's what he means. It's like
Yeah, I
each
don't really
person has
understand what you
a
mean.
each person has like a different sense of what is normal.
yeah, each
And
person has a
each
Oh.
different sense of
person,
what is normal.
yes, and each person has boundaries for that normal, their own boundaries. And if something that falls slightly outside those boundaries, it's considered a benign violation.
Hmm.
Like, why did Joshua cross the road? See, that was a benign
Right, see,
violation
that's
to you,
benign
and that's
violation.
why you laughed. Because you were expecting the chicken, weren't you, eh?
Hmm.
No, not really. I just didn't expect you to tell jokes on there.
Yeah,
It was just
see,
weird.
see, that's also a benign violation. Yeah, what I
Okay.
meant was like, but we can also get this general idea of how things are supposed to go from our interactions.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
because
see.
like what's normal, right? What happens normally?
Benign,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Like
And
for
we all
example,
have a
tickling.
different sense of normal.
Yeah, like when you're tickled, like some people laugh when they're tickled because it's literally a physical attack,
But
right?
that's benign.
Tickles are yeah, but it's benign. It doesn't hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Josh,
only some things tickles hurt.
but Josh, my slaps don't hurt either. But you don't laugh when I slap you.
You don't know if they hurt, do you? They
I
they.
I I know the power.
Hmm. So that's definitely not benign. Um, so for
Well, it's
example, yeah,
benign to me.
like I don't know. I got a joke. Why was the king only 30 centimeters tall?
Because he was
Oh
the
yeah.
Because he was a ruler.
Oh bro. Oh my gosh.
Hugh, Hugh, Hugh.
That was so funny.
You get it? Like
No.
double meanings. So those
That
are
was a
funny
pun.
because puns, double meanings. Those are benign violations.
I see.
Oh yes, and dark humor. You know why? Like some people really enjoy it, but other people like don't because they find it to be a violation. Like it's not benign, and it's a violation. You know?
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. That
Malignant
makes
violation.
Mm-hmm. Like
Interesting.
some serious topics, or like dark humor often plays with more serious topics. Some people don't think that's
Like the topic is you can't
yes,
really joke about it.
Yeah, some people think it's not benign, but some people do.
I
But
see.
it's all based on your general idea of what's normal and what's not.
Does any of us have a dark humor? I would say I do. I just want to know like who doesn't, because like I find everything really funny despite how dark it is, but I can't really understand when people get like offended by like it's like not offended, but like they find like a joke like to be like pretty dark and they don't find it funny. Like something. I guess. Do you have a dark humor?
It depends what you mean by dark.
Well, I can't really say it though because like they're dark. But would you say you have one?
I have a slightly dark humor.
Okay, so like the really dark ones. You don't find
Really
them
dark
funny
ones.
because they're too dark, or?
It depends. Like some people will be like, they'll look at it like a really, really bad event, like a school shooting or something, and laugh at that. I'm not that bad, right? I have a heart. I have a soul.
Right.
I'm not a psychopath.
Okay,
there's some people who
Did you just call me out?
there's some people who like laugh at dark humor, like they think it's funny until like it's something that like they've experienced. So like
because
when
it's imagination, it's
imagination,
not malignant. But when it's reality,
yeah.
Okay.
But like other people joke about their own negative experiences as well. I see.
That just sounds like coping, to be honest.
That is coping. IB kids are 3 hours of sleep. We talk about it every day.
Hugh, what's sleep? Sleep? I've never heard of that.
Lamau same.
And like another part of your social interactions is lying. Not everyone tells the truth. So were you guys ever caught lying about anything?
Yeah, 100%. What?
I can't
Amy, you
recall
want to share?
moment, but yes.
Let me think of one that's like not that bad. Give me some time. You two talk about it first.
Well.
Oh wait. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was literally just gonna reference Johnny, yes, Papa, and how I bet.
Okay.
Eating sugar, no papa.
No papa, open your mouth.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, but have you guys actually were actually like caught lying?
I can't recall a specific moment, but I must have been caught lying once.
Yeah, I feel like my parents know when I'm lying. It's just sometimes it's like such a small thing they don't really care about it.
Oh, I see.
I mean, they must have, right?
When I was little, instead of sleeping, I'd be playing on my Nintendo DS. And when my parents walk in the room, I hide it under my pillow. And then
I do that too.
I squint my eyes and I see them staring at me, and I start smiling, and then they look. They must know.
Oh, really?
Walk away.
That's just,
I
think that's
remember,
like you being bad at lying.
Like, you know how there's like a bunch of signs you can, like, signs to tell like if someone's lying.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I was supposed to like take naps, right? And my mom would always ask me like, "Hey, are you asleep?" And then I would always respond with, "Yes, I've fallen asleep already." And I had no idea how she could tell that I wasn't asleep. Like I was like, "How do you know?" I literally said I was asleep.
Big brain.
Genius.
No, genuinely, I was so confused.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm genuinely like I'm serious. I used to say I'm asleep,
What?
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait. Okay.
and I didn't know why she knew I was lying.
I'm seriously judging you, Josh.
The opposite of that is telling a friend a joke and them I'm thinking that it's true. Oh,
Or saying something true, but then no one ever takes you seriously. So they're like, "Oh, is that a joke?"
Bro, that's Sante.
That's definitely something.
Yeah, he tells it.
what?
He's always joking.
Am I?
Was that a joke?
But that we can't tell.
Yeah, we can't tell. You just sound like you're joking all the time.
Do I?
Oh yeah, but see, they're not funny because they're both benign and they don't violate. So they're just not fun.
Oh, so they need to be more violations, eh?
Yes, but they need to be benign at the same time. You gotta,
Josh,
like,
the
combine
challenge
them.
is on. Our slabs violations.
Well, they better be benign. Okay, and like
Hmm.
you, have you guys like experienced this where like you got it, like you got in trouble and they're like, oh, I won't like get mad at your parents. Like I won't get mad at you if you tell the truth, and then you tell the truth and you get in trouble even more.
Actually, has that happened to you? Because
I remember like
It's actually
once
never
or
happened to
twice.
really,
Once
No,
maybe.
my parents, they never gave me that ultimatum. Tell
Wow.
me or I now let you.
I feel like parents should
Yeah.
actually like just not punish their kids as much if they tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because my parents do that.
It depends what they
Well,
did.
they used to. Yeah, true. Well, obviously.
Just like you
Mhm.
murdered someone. Did you murder
Yeah.
him? Yes. You're free to go.
Or it's like, you know when people like sometimes laugh when they're asked a question, and like
Mhm.
some people are like, oh, you're lying because you're laughing, but you just genuinely think it's like funny or you're just nervous for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Maybe-
I don't really have like a specific reaction when I lie because like sometimes I'm like really serious about my like about telling the truth and I want them to believe that I'm serious. But then they're like, "Oh, you're being too serious. You're lying." And then other
Mhm.
times they're like, I laugh and they're like, "Oh, why are you laughing?" I'm just like,
It's like, why are you laughing? You're definitely lying.
exactly. It's like I don't really know how to tell when I like I don't even know my signs of lying to be honest.
Oh, I see.
And so
Well,
I don't
there's,
know
like-
how to pretend to not. Yeah.
Mhm.
What if I
was
told you
just
that
gonna-
I don't lie? I don't lie.
We heard you.
I swear I don't lie. That is the truth, the one truth and only truth.
Well,
That
there's
was-
like
that
there's
was
like
a
some
lie.
various like general signs to tell
Mhm.
like when someone's lying.
They're
So
only
first,
general,
like-
right?
Yeah, they're very
Like,
general.
okay.
So like if they exhibit like one of these like behaviors, you're not going to be like, oh, you're lying, because you're probably not. But
Okay.
if they show like all of these or like a lot of these, they might be lying. So like if someone's nervous, right, your general like signs of nervousness, that's like
Mhm.
you're fidgeting and you're like looking away maybe. Maybe you're pursing your lips when you're asked a sensitive question.
Saute. Okay.
You might like some people might move their butt, like rock their body like back and forth very slightly though, not violently like this when I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
Or some people might exhibit like grooming behaviors where like they're playing with their hair, or, like rubbing their face maybe.
Saute's just taking this so extreme.
I
Okay.
know.
Saute, you're not even saying anything.
Something's just showing me his
My
new
life is a
choreography.
lie.
No, this podcast isn't Something's Got Talent. We're not watching you dance.
Give me the golden buzzer.
Or like
You
when
don't
some people,
deserve
like
it.
there's some people who are like really bad liars and they're like, oh, they're like sweating a lot, or or if they talk in like a
Wow.
more high pitched voice. This is really interesting because when you're nervous, your vocal cords actually tighten up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, your
Don't
vocal
we
cords
know someone
tighten
who
up.
who their voice goes up like 20 octaves when they're lying Or like,
Who? Do we?
do we?
Do we? I mean, I know Amy's voice just goes up really high, but that's like randomly.
Yeah, that's just voice cracks.
What?
And then
I don't what?
What?
Wait, Ava, are you hearing yourself something?
What? Okay, no, nothing.
Okay.
and you also might get loud when you start to get defensive.
What?
Like if you're lying.
What?
I feel like it's perfectly normal to get defensive when someone's accusing you of lying. Because like you want to tell them the truth and they won't believe you. Why wouldn't you get defensive? I never understood
Mhm.
that side, to be honest. Like I
Well-
get very defensive when people like accuse me of lying because I'm not lying.
Yeah, but
Amy, you're
unless
lying.
what if they just like asked you a question?
Josh,
Yo.
you're lying.
Like what do you mean?
No, I'm Josh.
Josh.
Nice to meet you.
Josh, you're lying.
I thought you knew my name.
Josh, you're lying.
Oh, okay.
He's
Josh,
both
you're
Josh
lying.
and lying.
Josh, you're lying. Okay.
I can be whatever I want to be. I have rights. Now, and some people like when they lie, they might also change the way they talk. For example, they'll use words like "oh," to be honest, or honestly, or like "let me tell you the truth."
Basically,
You know what
to
I
be
thought?
honest, technically, to tell you the truth, I am not lying.
Bro, wait.
Oh,
Just like a random
mhm.
thing. When you said they changed the way of lying, I thought you meant like they like get an accent or something. Like they started something British. Bruh. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought that.
So you're like, I'm actually not lying.
Like, can you imagine if your accent just changes when you start lying? Okay. Anyways.
And then some people might like in their like when they talk, they might be too vague or they
Mhm.
might be too detailed. You know, like maybe you provide like a lot more detail to try to justify yourself. Like
Yes. I
and as
heard.
you provide.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying. I heard like sometimes people like try to like be vague so they can like separate themselves from the event or something. I'm not sure, but like I heard that somewhere. Like by being vague, they separate themselves from the event and
Yes,
like,
yes.
they lessen their guilt. I'm not sure.
No,
I
I was
read it
just
somewhere.
gonna talk about that.
Oh, bro. Okay. Continue.
You
Oh,
stole
what a
his
quick,
thunder.
what a quinky dink. But like, yeah, some people who are lying, they'll just start like removing themselves from their story, and like they might direct the focus onto other people. So yeah, they're just trying to like distance themselves. And also like some people are just really bad liars, and they sometimes like accidentally say the truth when they lie.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, like a slip up.
Oh, okay. You mean like that? Like, okay, that's
Yeah.
small mistakes.
Yeah,
Okay, I
that's
thought you
small
just mean
mistakes.
like they blur out the truth. Like, oh, I did
No.
kill that person. Like that. Sorry.
No.
Okay, that makes sense. I
That
guess
was
that's just like.
imposter all along.
Or it's like there are children in my basement. Wait, no, there aren't any children in my basement. I did not just say that.
Okay. We all have pretty dark secrets, but
Yes. And also like another part of your body language. So when someone's lying, they tend to like they might make more hand gestures.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're if you're trying to make up a story, your mind's like working way too hard to like make up a story and figuring things out. So you're just like moving your hands around, trying to talk.
Makes
I
sense.
talk with my hands naturally though.
Yeah, I guess some people do that. Oh, I heard
Mm.
like if you talk with your hands naturally and when you're lying, you might stop doing that. It's like,
Yeah, you might
You know,
stop
everyone-
doing that.
so Sante.
It's like a change in behavior, you know.
Basically.
And then yes, another one, palms facing away. Like, you know, if you have your hands at the side when you're like standing up and talking, if their palms are faced away from you, it's like an unconscious signal that they're holding back information.
Don't you stand with
actually-
your palms facing towards your body though?
Well, if they face it like if they're more faced away from you, I guess. or like
I've
face
never
the way
like
as
really
in,
noticed that.
I always
to be
hold
honest.
hands like this. Yeah.
or like face the way as in like you can't see them, so they might be in their pockets, for example,
Oh, okay.
or like under the table.
I thought you meant like they stand with their hands just like facing behind them.
No, like
Okay, makes
like when
sense.
people put them at the side, they might put them in their pockets,
Okay.
or you might be like holding something just to not show your palm.
Mm-hmm.
That means they're probably hiding something.
Cool. Good to know.
They're hiding their palms.
They're hiding something more than just their palms
Their fingers.
and some saucy secrets, maybe.
Perhaps.
But like, all of these things, they're usually very subtle, and you gotta like pay a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
These
And also,
wait, yeah.
no, what were you gonna say, Amy?
I was just gonna say like people only like really show these signs when they're nervous about their lines, right? So like, if you're really confident about you lying, that you won't even show these signs. Am I like, would that make sense?
Well, yeah. So some people are just really like good, like
Distinguishing
fluent in
between
lying.
good and bad liars. Yes.
Hmm.
Okay, so if you're confident in your lie, that like you won't really show any signs.
But
Good to know.
like this is for like generally if you're an average
course.
or a bad liar.
Like you're nervous. Okay.
Like, yeah, you're nervous, and there's like some things that are exclusive to lying, like the part where you remove yourself from the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like exclusive to lying.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Hmm.
Good to know.
Have you guys like tried persuading people ever to do something?
Yes.
Oh, something you want to share?
I can't recall a specific moment, but I'm pretty sure we've all tried persuading people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I feel like for me it's more like a subconscious thing. Like, oh, if I want something, I'll try to persuade them. I don't know how I really do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Is it effective?
Most of the time. I mean, you're here something, so. Wait, I don't know if that doesn't make sense. Never mind.
What did that mean? Did you persuade something to exist? It's like, hey, something, can you please exist?
You know what?
It's
It's okay.
Persuade a dead person to come back to
Right. Like sometimes when I try to like persuade someone, I'd like buy them something,
Yes.
maybe something small. Or like you can
What?
definitely do that.
You bite them?
No, you buy them something, or like you give them something.
Guilt
Oh,
trip
like that's called blackmailing. Or
No.
bribing.
No,
That's
it's
called
like-
bribing.
Yes,
That's called bribing.
yes.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. But like
Oh,
without.
Josh didn't even deny it. Okay.
It's guilt tripping.
Yes.
Yes. Well, it's similar, I guess. For like people are generally obliged to like give back to others
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
if they received it first, right? Like behaviors, gifts, services.
Wait, I think we all do that because well, this like when I convince my brother, I'm always like, oh, if you do this, I'll do this for you later,
Mhm.
and I never do it. I'm joking.
That's the law
I
of
follow through.
equivalent exchange.
Basically.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure we all do it. Like people with siblings. Something you have one.
Oh no,
Sibling
like
life.
you do the trade, right? You say you do something and I'll do something for you. I tell my brother, if you do something, I won't do something.
That's pretty. Okay.
I'm like, if you go get me a cup of water, or else I will take your Pokemon cards and never give them back.
Oh,
You know,
that's just a threat now.
That's pretty
that's a full-on
smart.
threat.
Exactly.
I'm
I don't lose
learning.
anything on my half. These are secret ways.
I can imagine just like Amy's brain is like growing as she talks to Santing right now. Just
Mhm.
Absorbing my wisdom.
and also like people don't want to miss out. They don't want to.
FOMO.
Yeah, people don't want to miss out. So if you want like persuade someone, you can point out what's unique about your proposal maybe, and like you can tell them what they'll miss out on if they don't do this thing for you, or
Oh, I guess is this okay? I've never really persuaded people like this, but like you know how like ads are like, oh, one of a lifetime deal or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought of
Or,
that.
or like, yeah, or like those sales.
Yeah.
Those sales like, oh, it's gonna be gone, and then you don't buy it, and then like later be like, oh, it's still there. Like it came back. Like
Mhm.
because people don't want to miss out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
You guys probably can't relate, and I don't know if I can relate, but I just found this to be pretty cool. Where people people enjoy being consistent with things they've previously like said or done. So this is an example where like there's an example where in a neighborhood,
Mhm.
there were some people who were asked like if they wanted to put up a big sign, and the people like a bunch of people were like, hell no, why would I put up a sign?
Yes.
Right. But then some other
Relation.
people agreed because they agreed to put up a sign because before that, the same people were like, hey, do you want to put up a small sticker on your window? And then like, hey, do you want to put up, like a lawn sign, like a flag or something? And like small increments, like small, it goes up by small increments. So then
Hmm.
they'd agree to the sign because they were consistent with it, and that's what they were used to.
They just basically condition the people to like want to put signs in their lawns. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's like you activate the consistency by asking for small initial commitments. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I've really seen people do that though, like in general. Well, in my life, sorry.
Hmm.
Persuasion is a whole nother art. I mean, like people have written like 1,000-page books about persuasion from different
Well,
points of view, all the way back from Aristotle and the Pillars of Persuasion.
the pillars of persuasion. Santi, do you have something to say about that?
What about that? The
Like
Pillars
the
of
ethos?
Persuasion?
Or isn't that the
Oh,
ethos,
ethos,
pathos thing?
logos. Yeah,
Yeah,
those
that.
things. What about? I think like that's one of the earlier forms, right, by Aristotle.
Mhm.
Yes, and there's
There's
so
still
many more. Like what's it called? Aspects of persuasion, like decorum, right? Like yeah, and you need to act according to the audience, virtue, right? Values, all of that. Well, persuasion is an art that's always been developed. That's constantly being developed.
Hmm.
you know what what's like a good way to persuade someone? Just get to know them. Be friendly, because people who are
So
similar to
Josh,
us.
so Josh,
No.
Josh.
Yes, something.
Yes, Josh. Okay,
But it's common sense. People tend to say yes to people they like.
Josh,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
You okay?
Josh.
What is it?
I'm thinking of a favor, but I can't think of a favor.
Ask
Josh,
for money.
stand up.
Bruh.
Okay, Josh, stand up. Josh, will you please stand up?
Something's your dear friend, Josh.
Josh, please stand up.
For your dear friend, Sante.
Josh.
No. In
Just
fact,
do it, Josh.
in fact, I will descend just to spite you.
Josh. Okay, fine, Josh. Sit down.
I have
Sit down,
descended just to
Josh.
spite. Oh, just to
Josh.
spite you, I'm going to ascend.
Josh. Get low. Sit down, Josh.
But anyways, like
Okay.
we talked about various ways you can persuade people, and they generally work. But just with Santing, I just like to spite him. So
Just
I'm
like
not
a
gonna
random
do it.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like people generally like to do what they're not told not to do. So like you just like sat down when he tells you to stand up. I do that a lot with my brother. Actually, it works. It works so well. I'm not even joking. Like he just has to disobey what I say. So like I just tell him something I don't want him to, and he like does not complete. Wait, I tell him something I don't want him to do, and he does what I want him to do.
Right.
Don't get me a cup of water. Don't get me a cup of water. Don't do my
well, it
homework.
doesn't work like that, but sure.
Yeah.
Okay, don't do
Reverse
my homework.
psychology. reverse psychology is also pretty interesting.
Yes.
There's like, I wonder how that works.
I
But
should
I guess
hire you. Don't hire me.
don't. Don't.
It's like I don't.
Don't.
Yeah. John. Wow.
Well, maybe that's for a future episode. But for now,
Indeed.
that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Talking Table podcast.
Bye, guys.